Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of who I am. We're going to be talking about the meaning behind the Mr. KmK moniker. We're going to be talking about a lot of about how long I have been producing, what got me into it, and what Mr. KmK means to me as an idea and even a brand. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. So when I first started coming up with the idea of producing and really wanted to kind of not necessarily take it super serious as I am now, but at least think about it in terms of like something to do. So at first I wanted to use a name like Prince Beats, because my actual name means prince in Arabic. So it was only logical that I had thought of something like that. However, it was too on the nose, and I had looked up, people with the same name, and a dozen of results came out. So I was like, nah, I might not use that. But then me and my dad sat down and we were just kind of just talking about it, and we were just chatting, and we were just throwing out names. And in my family, they call me Meerkat, and that is a family thing. So my father decided to say, hey, why not just add the first K in there, which is killer. And I was like, okay, so Killer Meerkat, pretty cool. The name itself sounded really cool, but I wanted it to be kind of unique. So I decided to take the first letter of each of the word. So Killer, the first K, Meer with the M, and then Cat with the secondary K. And that's where you get KmK. It is also a malodrome, which is spelled backwards as it is forward. That's why, if you just type it out like normal with all lowercase, it is spelled the exact same way, which is really cool. And especially in logo form, what I do is that I flip the last K, so it looks pretty cool, which will make it also another malodrome. When you look at it, no matter how you spin it, it'll always look the same. And of course I just put Mr. in front of it, so you get the name Mr. KmK. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire meaning behind Mr. KmK. There's nothing really deep in terms of of it being like a super complex idea. It's more of I was spitballing with my dad, and we came up with these ideas. And now I think it's a little bit more important to talk about how long I have been producing and a little bit of what got me into it. So I have been producing for about 3 years. Next year will be my 4th year of producing, and it has been a tremendous road. I had to deal with a lot of personal things, which I'll be getting into in a moment. But for doing it for 3 years, I think I'm doing pretty all right for myself. There's a lot of things that I want to learn about market branding and branding within itself, and how do I get to the next stage of producing and try to get my foot into the door, so to speak, of getting noticed. I have a little small fan base, as I am continuing to grow my brand. And I think for me, for producing, even though I could have been producing for about 10 years, but for me it's more of, oh gosh, how can I explain this? it's more of the amount of passion that I put into my work, and it shows. I don't just like release music whenever, all willy nilly, like I used to. I kind of take a little bit of time to really refine the noises and tweak a little bit of things in the equalizer and make sure that things sound really clear. And that is all, and it's very important for me to do that. And the reason that I say that is because I don't want my music to be looked at as bad. But bad and good is kind of subjective, but I don't want people to be like objectively being like, hey, this guy sucks, let's just shit on him. I don't like it. It sucks for me. But that's why I spend a lot of time producing and really understanding what is the message that I'm trying to convey to my audience, which is you guys. Which leads me into what got me started into it. In July 28th of 2000, no, July 29th is when I found out, of 2018, a good friend of mine had passed away due to a car accident. And as you can probably imagine, as sudden and as abrupt as something like that had happened, it was a shock to me. At first, her boyfriend, which I'm really good friends with to this day, of like 6 years, when he told me that, at first I was like, there's no way, you gotta be joking. There's no way that this could be real, and that moment of where that self-doubt of, oh my gosh, this can be, my stomach just went cold. Like, my whole entire body went shivering cold. Everything went numb in my fingers. I mean, it was just a whole entire ordeal with my own psyche. But plus, I mean, he didn't have to tell me that, she had passed away again, to reassure it. I mean, that feeling of, holy shit, this is real. It's both sad and so heartbreaking to realize that in any moment things can change drastically and things can ultimately turn south. And I mean, what happened was that she was walking her dog late at night, and she was trying to cross the street, and the street didn't have enough of the street lights out, and the car didn't see her until, pretty much last minute. And yeah, it was just terrible. I mean, with something like that, again, it's so abrupt, and it really catches you off guard. And I think after that moment, I fell into a deep depression into that, because she was the only one that really pushed me farther than I had actually pushed myself as just a person. And that's what really stuck with me even to this day. That really sticks with me, is that she has had me and her had talks of what I wanted to be, and she didn't judge me. She didn't tell me, oh my gosh, I didn't tell her I was gonna be a cartel member or something drastic, but I did tell her of my dreams and my admirations. And when I look back on it now, those conversations kind of cemented in my mind that I can do anything. And that's why the song off of my first album I had made, called Roses, but the song track was called Wide Awake, was me realizing that you have a talent, and you should wake up and realize that yes, this person is gone and it's going to be hard to live without them, but you have a sort of purpose that you need to continue, and you shouldn't just stop and just be in this mindscape of just perpetually being just kind of this depressive type of person. Now, I do have those moments, but I shouldn't dwell on them too much, and I have you guys to thank for that as well. And I know that probably in this section it's a little bit sad to hear, and it's a little bit very melancholy, but this is why I make my music. This is how I got started into it, was me being in this mind space for so long, and I started to realize that I can't always be in this. And that's when I woke up emotionally and psychologically, woke up and realized that I can't do this. She wouldn't like it if I was like this. So I metaphorically picked myself up and I just started making music. And now we're here 3 years later, and I have over maybe at most 500 plays on my Spotify total. I have dozens of fans that love me. I'm slowly getting recognized, and it's all thanks to you guys, and I really wouldn't be here without you. And that brings me to my final segment. What does Mr. KmK mean to me? And Mr. KmK means a lot to me. As somebody who really kind of stays to himself, and kind of just focuses on things that I enjoy, and not really worry about what other people want me to do. You realize that you find enjoyment in the things that you love when people think that it's weird, or they think that it's crazy, or they think that it's not going to get you anywhere. And that's not the point. The point is to just do it because you love doing it. And even if it doesn't do anything for you financially, if you don't plan on making any money from it, who cares? As long as you're happy doing it, then that should probably be the final resolution. But for Mr. KmK, it's a little bit of a duality. You see, the person that is talking right now, I'm smart. I'm very intuitive in some of my own thoughts. I am funny. I am really easygoing when you get to know me. I'm fun to be around. I like to just have fun with whatever we're doing. But I'm also a self-doubter. I also have depressive states, and I also have, bad thoughts many of the time. And that's my human side. That's humanity. That's my humanity. And then, of course, in a lot of my newest logo, which I'll probably show up on screen right now, is the skeleton side, the darker side of me. He's very much of an asshole. He will just tell you a blunt truth with no regard of your feelings. He's just this idea of no holds barred, and he will do anything to kind of move himself forward. Not to backstab anybody, but he will do what it takes to get the job done. He's very aggressive. He's very, very self-confident. He's very risk-taking. And that is who I inspire to be. So Mr. KmK is not just a name. He is an idea. And that's what I want to spread, is an idea, rather than just a cool producer guy that you know online. I want to spread an idea. And with that, You know, it comes with a lot of time and practice and just kind of learning as I go. But I have faith that I will, you know, get recognized one day and actually have my talent, you know, appreciated and really taken a little bit more serious than I am taking it. Granted, I do love doing this, but there's something about that recognition that is more of like gratification of like, yes, I'm being recognized by people that recognize that I am not necessarily the best, but I am damn good at what I do, and I deserve some accolades. But only time will tell, and all I have to do is just keep on going. I know this is kind of a long video, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done. I have more stuff that I want to release before the end of this year, so please stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later.